What's poppin'? Back like we never left, and today we're here to talk about One Piece chapter 933. Now, I haven't done a face cam video as far as discussing the chapter in a long time, but I wanted to take the time out today to do that because I always enjoy doing them. So the thing is, with the voiceover videos, those are more, I guess, straight to the point, short and sweet. While I didn't get to touch on every specific thing and give my thoughts on every specific thing, where these videos, I can really give my thoughts in depth and really have a good time with it. So, if you're here for the first time, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this. And let's talk about One Piece chapter 933. So, first thing, the cover page is Enel. Enel is not coming back. Let's move on. We left off with Orochi going into his devil fruit form, and a lot of people assumed that Orochi would have a trash devil fruit. Lord knows I did as well, because Orochi, if you did not notice, based on how he is, he did not seem like the intimidating character. Now, I can say I'm one of those people that preach all the time that appearance means nothing in One Piece. We look at Blackbeard, to a lesser extent, Wapol. I don't think Wapol is a great example. However, some of these characters, they look weird, but they are powerful. Shutamaru is a great example in this actual arc, because Shutamaru, when he first showed up, I was like, who is this guy, right? Who's this guy who shows up, he's laying on his whatever the hell he was riding, and shit, he cut Jack. So Shutamaru is an example of like not judging a book by its cover, but Shutamaru after that, if you just had to look at Shutamaru based on dialogue and not even going off of his appearance, he was way more intimidating than what Orochi showed at all. So Orochi, based on the things he was saying in the last chapter and throughout the entire arc, I didn't believe him. And even after seeing his devil fruit, I still didn't believe him. And after this chapter, I still don't believe him. But we'll talk about that. First, Orochi got mad because Kurosaki, the courtesan, bitch slapped him. Fair. You can't do that to the Shogun. However, while going through it, it seemed like he didn't want to actually kill her. He was giving her opportunities to redeem herself, which is interesting because the fact that his ninja army, the Fushin, whatever they are called, they gave Robin one chance to explain herself. With Kurosaki, he's doing the same thing, which is interesting as well, because when he came face to face with CP0, it seemed like he gave no fucks, right? Like he didn't care about shit. I don't care about you guys. I'm a savage. I can shoot you if I want to. With Kurosaki, he was giving her a bit more leeway, which is understandable. She's the most beautiful woman in Wano. So for him, she's useful. And that told us a little bit about his personality, where he's not as savage as someone like Doflamingo. So back to Orochi, his devil fruit, the snake fruit. Now, I have no problem with this fruit because we all thought it would either be a smile fruit or it would be a mythical zone. I know people have mentioned ancient zones, and mythical made the most sense here, but it's a model Yamato no Orochi, which I have no problem with the fruit. I just feel like the buck teeth, it takes away from some of the intimidation. And again, the personality of Orochi does not make me feel threatened in any way. I mean, even again, after the chapter, I do not feel threatened based on the things that happened to him and the things that he actually did. However, he is overwhelmed by Kurosaki's beauty. He loves Kurosaki. That may be a stretch, but he cares about her to an extent where he doesn't want to do it. And it's proven throughout the chapter or later in the chapter. Orochi's really a weird character because it's... Okay, Kurosaki, she talked back to him and she said, are you really attached to me? Are you in love with me? That's why you can't do it? And he obviously got upset because he didn't only attack Kurosaki, he attacked the guys around the area, which it seems like they know of this because they were telling people to not provoke him. So it seems like when he gets angry, he just lashes out at whatever and whoever is in the way. And he did take Kurosaki into his mouth, and as weird as that sounds, he took her into his mouth, and it just seemed like he just had her in his mouth. He wasn't doing anything with her. It was just, she was just there. in his mouth. I didn't think he was going to eat her. And it seems like he wasn't really trying to hurt her. I don't know what the purpose of that was. Maybe intimidation, because he was trying to save face, because for the fact that he is the shogun and she attacked the shogun. So in regards to who she was, if she had apologized, it's like, okay, I can deal out a less severe punishment than actual death. But you saying I refuse to apologize, yeah, I gotta kill you, bro. I have to. At this point, you gotta go. So Orochi, I can't blame him for that. But he's a weird guy in the way he operates. And whereas collateral damage means nothing to him. Now, of course, him being the shogun, as reiterated by one of the ninja, where they said, yo, you gotta stop him from killing Komurasaki. He said, yo, he's a shogun. He can do as he pleases. And they focused their attention then on Robin and Toko. Now, Robin taking Toko, I had no problem with her doing that. However, it seems like after doing that, she had no plan. She was just going to abduct Toko to save her. And I guess that's how the Straw Hats operate. But for Robin, I expect a bit more planning. And she seemed to be unsure of herself. Like, I can't do anything else. Which, I mean, for Robin, it's a bit disappointing because we haven't seen a lot from her post-time skip. And we've been expecting a lot. And again, last chapter, she had her moment in which she stood up to all those guys and she got away. And this chapter, she's back to saying, I can't do anything. We just got to run away. I'm not saying there's anything bad with what Robin did. And I'm not saying she's trash in any way, because I know that's a word that we throw around. But Robin, I expect more from her. If you remember Robin pre-time skip and how dangerous she was when she first showed up, she has not been that for a while now. Again, we talked about this last night. That the best thing she's done is probably capture Hakuba and Dressrosa and protect Rebecca. I mean, at this point, I'm expecting a lot from Robin, but maybe my expectations are too high or too much, because she's a support character. And her purpose and her role of the Straw Hats is to read the poneglyphs. And Oda has kind of pigeonholed her into that role, whereas when she went outside of that and finding poneglyphs and relaying the information, she isn't used for much else. Maybe some comedic relief, which is the dark comedy that I enjoy from her. Other than that, she's not used for much else. Some eye candy. Oda loves using her for eye candy because she is sexy in the terms of what One Piece females. But then she's always getting outdone by Nami in some way. And this chapter kind of carried that on a little bit. But we'll talk about it. The Brook thing, it's kind of... Okay, I've been saying that I've been tired of Brook for a while. And it's not because Brook and his bone jokes. Actually, it is because of him and his bone jokes. But the ghost thing, we knew it would come into play in some way. And it did. It actually did. But it didn't move me. I know it was comedy they were going for. And I expected it at some point. But it didn't hit for me. The ninja, I wanted to see more of the ninja, I guess. And with Brook there, it created a perfect opportunity for Oda to say, they don't have to fight because of the ghost, and the stigma around ghosts in Wano is perfect. It's actually perfect. And they carried on about this ghost for a few panels, and fucking Brook, man, this guy. Of course, everything Brook did end up saving Robin and in some way, and then we had a comedic moment between them. But the focus after that went to Nami and Shinobu. And Shinobu, a pleasant surprise in terms of One Piece in regards to how she's been as a character. She doesn't look like the typical One Piece female, but her gags are amazing. Not amazing, they're funny. Because for her, she is a ninja. However, she is the worst type of ninja because her qualities and how she operates does not fit what the criteria of what a ninja should be. She's loud, she's clumsy, she's boisterous. She is not what you expect a ninja to be. However, she is hilarious. So for Shinobu, they're talking to Nami. Nami say, yo, we got to go help them. And then one of the ninja happened upon Shinobu and say, you are that woman that we know of, that legendary woman. And Shinobu, they showed her back in the day. She was stunning. And then she turns around like, how did you know about me? And he's like, oh, my bad. Not you. It couldn't have been you. And then, she does her thing, which I thought that was hilarious. That was probably one of the funniest parts of the chapter. One of the funniest parts also came at the end of the chapter. We'll talk about that. But I'm liking Shinobu. I really want to see more of Shinobu. And her and Nami, they're intertwined well because Nami, she actually is good as a ninja because obviously she's a cat burglar and she's a thief. So she does things well that a ninja should do. So for them being a tag team is perfect because Shinobu will do ninja art and Nami's like, that's not what you planned. And Nami, she's sneaking about like a cat burglar, and Shinobu, she does everything to mess it up. So I actually like this pairing. Shinobu for Straw Hat, I'm not going to go that far because the backstory isn't there. The need isn't there for someone like that. And honestly, I would not want her on the crew because that's just adding to more gags that it will get old. Okay, her being clumsy or just being the opposite of what we expect. And as tired as I am of some of these Straw Hats gags, the most tired of, like I mentioned before, is the Brooke skull jokes. I'm tired of those. Everything else I can live with. Zoro getting lost is still hilarious. Chopper and compliments, I think that's funny. Usopp making fun of people. Luffy's being Luffy, that's fine. Robin's dark humor. Nami and Sanji. People are tired of Sanji and the woman thing because he wouldn't hit a woman, and how overly, I guess, simpish he is to women. But for me, I don't mind Sanji being like that towards women because it's hilarious when the contrast of how he is towards men. Typically, it's just how quickly he transitions from loving the woman with hard eyes to saying, yo, get the fuck out of my face, Usopp. Like, go make your own shit. I'm done. These dishes are specifically for Nami, Robin, and I guess Carrot at this point. She's an honorary member of the Straw Hat crew. Not confirmed yet, and I saw someone tweet, I think it was Arthur, saying that it's hinted that the next members of the crew are going to be the Sunny, or viewed as the Sunny and Mary, which I think is utterly retarded. And of course, not saying Arthur's retarded, just the premise of what they're stating, saying that could be the next Straw Hats. From, I think it was an article that said it. What? I have said on record before that I am not somebody that cried from the death of the Mary. It just didn't hit me as much at the first go right. It was a ship. And of course, I was attached to the Mary as well. Don't get me wrong. But I think when it switched for me was when Usopp and Luffy got into their fight and their argument. I was 100% on the side of Luffy because the ship was done. It was over for the ship, and Luffy was making the choice as a captain, which I had wanted for a long time, for Luffy to step up, and he finally did that, and Usopp was against him because he was too attached to the ship, which was understandable. This was a dispute that you could take either side, but for me and my expectations, there's no way I can take Luffy's side of it. And that was a great moment, but we're not talking about that. Let's get back to Wano. Let's not reminisce and think of the nostalgic great moments of pre-time skip. I miss pre-time skip. So Shinobu and Nami, they fall from the ceiling, and then it falls on Orochi, and he has this look on his face like he's knocked out, but he's not. He's not knocked out. And we get to the moment in the chapter that I feel like will be the most talked about. And that's the moment with Kyoshiro and Komurasaki. And Kyoshiro, like I state almost every review or every discussion around the chapters in which he's involved or referenced or mentioned in some way, he is one of those characters in which I want to know more about, because characters like that are not plenty or not aplenty in One Piece. We have characters that are one side, they're pretty linear, right? They have a goal, they have something they defend, they have a mindset. So while there is quite a lot to unpack about Kyoshiro, I think I want to save that for a specific video where I talk about him and analyze his character. But for right now, based on what we know, when he was introduced, he was mocking the Shogun. He was making fun of him and saying how he's basically paranoid of everything that happened in the past. But as he's gone on, it seems like him and Orochi, they share similar beliefs as far as overwhelming an opponent. We saw Kyoshiro, he talked about if someone was to do something to anybody in his family, even if they were a lower ranking individual, he would come at them with an overwhelming force. He said, if your kid came home like that, what would you do? So he views people that he exchanged a cup of sake with as family. Not sure if he did that with Orochi, but Orochi agreed with his sentiment. So Kyoshiro making fun of Orochi, then basically having some of the same ideals as Orochi, I would understand why he would follow him. However, it seems like his loyalty is to the throne. He also talked about cutting down Kinemon and any of the Red Scabbards if they would show up. And one of the theories that we had and we discussed was, could Kyoshiro be a previous member of the Red Scabbards? And as we went on, we kind of determined that Kyoshiro, he's probably just loyal to the crown. Because the moment that transpired next was him cutting down Komurasaki. And of course, last chapter, he referenced that he raised Komurasaki. So there is a connection there. And of course, he's tied to her. So to cut her down this chapter, it felt excessive, especially after Orochi did not want to do it. So, what's up with Kyoshiro? It seems like he holds the Shogun, or that title of Shogun, to a higher degree. There is some significance to Kyoshiro, why it means that much to him that we don't know about yet. For him to cut down somebody that he's raised. Now, people are saying it's a scam, it's a scheme that they've hatched. I don't think there's anything that Komurasaki and Kyoshiro have planned, but I do think it is a sign of respect, and that's how Kyoshiro goes about taking care of people that oppose the throne. And I think him cutting down Komurasaki is the best thing for him, because he would want to do it to somebody he cares about, right? He even said he showed her the samurai's mercy. Now, a lot of people are saying that putting her out of her misery, but that could be, I'm going to put her in pain, but not kill her. I don't think Komurasaki is dead at all. So for Kyoshiro, a character that I really can't wait to learn more about, just because his views and how he's operating, it's not clear. It's very unclear. In moments like these, in which we can have a character in which his allegiance is questioned, his morality is questioned, and just the individual overall is questioned, or it piques my curiosity. And these are the characters that I want to know more about. Shutamaru, like I mentioned before, is another one. So I'm loving Kyoshiro right now. And I think I feel the exact opposite about Orochi. Okay, I don't hate Orochi. I'm just not as impressed as other people are with him. I know people were saying that, okay, first off, Orochi, everything he was saying is true as far as the past. I give you that. He was right about everything that happened in the past. However, I still think a lot of the things he's saying is just based on a basis of paranoia. That's where it's coming from. He's paranoid about the past. So for him, everything that they said will come to pass. I don't think it speaks to his intellect necessarily, but again, more to come, and we will see as the chapters go on. Another area of contention was the fact after Komurasaki fell, a few panels after that, we saw someone holding the symbol of the alliance. And Komurasaki, or Kyoshiro, looked at it and he had a surprised face. Like, what is this card? What is this thing? Now, initially we felt like it was Komurasaki, but upon further review, it seemed like it was one of the men that he had cut down. They had this card. Now, remember, they were passing out the cards throughout the town, just slipping it into people's hands, pockets, whatever. So this could have happened to this person. Now, this led to a lot of theories as far as Komurasaki being the daughter of Kinemon. And the clear telegraph thing is Odin. That's the clear thing that Oda's trying to show us here. That's why I'm so opposed to it, saying it cannot be that simple. Can it? Someone mentioned Lola being straightforward and telegraphed to being Big Mom's daughter. I don't think that was just telegraph. It was an offhand comment saying, hey, my mom's a famous pirate in the New World, and we just, the most famous pirate, probably the only female pirate in the New World that we knew of was Big Mom, so that's who we were going to automatically go to. I don't think it's the same thing. Because as far as saying, I'm the daughter of a samurai, and the Momo thing, and the 20-year thing, and it's just, when Momo was brought up, she had very telegraphed. So I'm skeptical. I don't think I'm a skeptic by nature, but shit. I just don't believe it. All right. If it comes to pass, I'll apologize and say, yo, I was wrong as hell. You guys are right. But for right now, let's let it play out a little bit. I find it funny with Orochi because after Kyoshiro cuts Komurasaki down, this man is upset. He's sad, right? Because she even hinted at saying, yo, you care about me too much. You're attached to me. And instead of getting mad at Kyoshiro, because I don't think he can beat Kyoshiro, personally, he focuses his ire and his disdain upon Toko. Starts destroying the castle, or continues to destroy the castle, and says, if you didn't laugh, none of this would have happened. Bro, what? I referenced this earlier. The usefulness, or somewhat the uselessness of Robin, in which Nami comes in, pulls up Zeus, and does her thing. And that has been Nami ever since Whole Cake, right? When Luffy and Cracker, and then Nami holding off Big Mom, using Pound, using King Bomb. Nami has been doing things. But again, Nami is more so in a position in which she has to compensate when they're not on the ship. Outside of being a navigator, she's somebody that contributes in different ways. Of course, Robin, she's an archaeologist. She's someone that does the exploring, looking for the important things, which I appreciate. But I would like to see more combat things. She used a Gigantesco Mono, which I haven't seen in a while. It was great to see it. And of course, everybody knows the Robin voice that she says it in. Gigantesco Mono! I love it. But Nami did her thing. And again, like I said, Nami's always upstaging Robin, where I think that's intentional because Nami is just somewhat the heroine of the story. She is, after Luffy, the first woman or female you think of when you think of the Straw Hats. Some people mention Vivi from time to time, but Vivi does not. No, she's not Nami. Stop. It's funny that I wanted to make a top 5 sexiest women for Valentine's Day, but I couldn't get around to making that list because I didn't want to make just including the Straw Hats. I wanted to make one based on like Whole Cake Island. I wanted to make a top 5 sexiest women in Whole Cake Island, because I feel like that would be actually difficult, because when you think of women, you think about, obviously Smoothie, Galette, Brulee. Anyway, we assume that Orochi got hit by that massive thunderclap, and we go to Big Mom. And again, Big Mom lost her memories last chapter. People were going crazy. Like, this is the worst thing Oda has ever done. Oh my God. No. It's not that bad. Remember when people went crazy over the time fruit? People said, oh my God, the time fruit. It is going to break One Piece. I am dropping the series. One Piece is officially the worst series in Jump. Boy. Impatience is a thing in the One Piece community, and we're 933 chapters in. Some of it is fair. We should know more. However, it's week to week. So jumping to conclusions is probably not the best way to go about things. So we got to stop doing that. Regardless, with Big Mom now, still memory loss, and she's with Chopper and Momonosuke, and with Big Mom, it's interesting seeing her in this light, because for Big Mom's personality, she is a fairly simple character. When she was younger, she wanted to change people and fit people to her agenda, how she feel like they would be perfect. But all in all, it was a simple and a positive premise, right? She wanted to do something good. However, the route she was taking was a bit forceful, and it probably it's not the way how regular people operate or interact. She was very strong, and she wasn't even aware of her own strength. Remember, when she killed that bear with one hit. So for Big Mom, at her core, she's a good person. Good in terms of wanting positive things. However, she's very selfish. She wants it in her way with her methods. She started to become an apparent of her strength, of course, with the help of Streusen. And with that, she started saying, okay, I can force people to be under me even if they don't agree with me. So with Big Mom, how she is right now, fairly innocent, that is how she was as a child. She's childlike as an adult regardless, but with her now, I think that's the most scary thing about her, because she can be this way at one moment where she's singing, she's dancing, she's saying, give me paw, Chopper, which is the funny part I referenced earlier. But then she can turn into a menace and a monster. We saw what she did to the giant country. And we saw her when she's rampaging. The problem here is that they just promised her something. You know what Big Mom reminded me of? Big Mom reminds me of Nanika, right? Where with Nanika, so Nanika Alika, or Alika I should say, but one and the same. She's naturally a happy person, right? And it's referencing Hunter x Hunter, in which a character, she's a happy person until you ask her for something. You make a wish and she grants that wish, she's going to want something back. With Big Mom, happy person until the rampages come, or the hunger pangs. In this case, she was craving, what was it, Shuriko? Whatever the fuck that is. She ate some and she fancies it. So now they said there's more in Udon, where Luffy is in the prison. Now, the problem obviously is if no Udon is there, this could trigger Big Mom's hunger pangs. And Big Mom goes from being this innocent, childlike figure to being this rampaging monster that nobody can stop. So it's clear where Oda is going with the Big Mom thing. But again, I'm going to make a separate video about that. But with Big Mom and how he's using her, I hope that he doesn't go the route of Big Mom being this person that's just used as a tool and a way to get through the arc quicker, as a shortcut. Because I feel like that's a bit cheap, especially using a Yonko in this way. I know people are going to say, big meme. I'm not a fan of that saying. I don't agree with it. I agree that Big Mom has been, she has been viewed upon in a light that is not representative of the initial portrayal of a Yonko, of an emperor. However, there's a lot of factors into why this is the case. For Big Mom, she is still one of the most impressive characters feat-wise, as far as we've seen taking hits, dishing out punishment, durability, stamina, overall power. So I mean, saying that her character is laughable, and I feel some people have been attaching that to the fact that she's a woman. And I'm not going to go that route because Oda does the same with Sanji at times. And the thing is, characterizing characters and giving them characteristics, these things are going to happen because Oda has these characters to take certain liberties with these characters that he wouldn't take with a character like maybe Katakuri or Zoro. These edgy characters that are viewed in a different light. So, but Oda he's not scared to do it. But he doesn't do it to the extent that he does with these seemingly more jovial characters. Yeah, a good chapter. Right now, my rating 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I did enjoy it. Was a bit, felt like it was a bit short. It just felt that way. I wanted some more, and that's how it is every week. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the Shinobu stuff, like I said. Nami doing her thing. I would like to see more of Kyoshiro. So yeah, 7 out of 10, very solid chapter. Guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this chapter. Did you enjoy it? How do you feel about Big Mom? How do you feel about Kyoshiro? How do you feel about Orochi? So leave your thoughts below, like the video, subscribe for more content like this. Of course, feedback is always welcome. Leave your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. And yeah, subscribe to my Patreon. I know people are going to hate me. Shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. Blackbeard did nothing wrong. I am still in the process of finishing it. That's going to be my next big project that's going to drop. And of course, Ace did nothing wrong is still a thing. And Yonko Portrayal is another one that I've been working on. But Blackbeard did nothing wrong should be the next big project that should be dropping. So become a patron to give your thoughts and feedback into my next coming videos. I appreciate the support. I really do. But thank you guys so much. Like the video, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.